That's got to be on you. All right. All right. I'm excited about what I'm going to talk to you guys about a little bit, but I'm going to hand things over to Alex Funk. Alex is a champ in the business. So let me give a fast intro here, just so that those of you guys that don't know Alex, you get to know him a little bit here as he talks. Alex is one of the most genuine people you'll ever meet. He got started in Casey Fenland's winter branch as a student freshman at University or Minnesota State Mankato. And Alex, man, that guy's just, when I think the word wholesome, I'm like, Alex Funk. And he's one of the nicest guys you'll meet, super coachable. And he started off hot. He sold 12.5 in his fast start. He kept going. He won a scholarship. Then he sold 30 grand in the summer, kind of on his own without an office. And then in the summertime, he decided, hey, you know what? I'm just selling Cutco. I'm going to decide, I'm going to run an office next year. He made the decision. He trained over this winter break. He did something we've never had somebody do before with Team Builder over winter break. He also sold 20 grand. And he came out of the gate swinging this summer. And he's had an amazing start to the summer. This guy just finished his sophomore year of college and is really up to some really, really, really big things with Cutco. And I couldn't be more excited about his message. He's going to talk to you guys about his vector opportunity. So take a few notes. It's not necessarily an instructional talk, more of kind of just, again, his story of how it's gone for him with everything. So go ahead and take it away, Mr. Funk.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Got it. Dane, give me a head nod. Okay. I'm going to talk about the vector opportunity, and give me a thumbs up if you can see the slideshow. Awesome. Okay. I was actually pretty excited when Dane asked me to give this talk, because I love what vector is, and I love what vector has done for me, and what I keep seeing it do for other people. So quick little backstory on myself after this. So my time in vector, I kind of split it up 5 ways. My fast start, what school was like after I started working with Cutco, my first summer as a rep, Leadership Academy and everything that did for me, and Cutco as a manager so far. So it's only been a couple months. Little backstory quick, graduated from Pierce High School, town of over 1,000. Dane will disagree with that, but we have 1,000 people. Went to Mankato for business, for marketing. I actually was sports management, then marketing, then accounting, then finance. Didn't really know what I was doing. And then the winter break of freshman year, that's me with some buddies at a hockey game. I basically gone broke. All my money from working as an electrician the summer before was gone. And I met a guy freshman year, Caleb Sin, who I knew he made like $10,000 the summer before selling Cutco. So I was like, all right, man, hook me up. So here's me in training for Cutco. A little different than you guys on the Zoom here, but that was my graduating class of Cutco. Casey Fenland trained us in. The day after Christmas, I drove down to Rochester for it. And kind of the theme of everything I'm going to talk about is my favorite thing that Dane ever says, and that's just expanding your plate. And ever since I started with Vector and started selling Cutco and working with Vector and Cutco, that's kind of been the main thing that just keeps happening with my life, is I just keep expanding my plate. So I'm going to show, that is a calendar. That is Google Calendar. And that's basically what my calendar / life looked like before I started working with Vector. I didn't plan anything. I was just living. I was just being a kid, being a freshman in college, like whatever. I wasn't really doing anything by plan. I was just kind of waking up and living every day. That's what my life looked like beforehand. So here was in my fast start. I started using a calendar a little bit. I started planning out my demos. And you see on the bottom, that was January 2019. I say I was given a plate. So I was actually here. I finally had some responsibility. And I had demos, and I was getting started with Cutco. I was showing up. I was wearing like a full tie, dress shirt, dress pants, dress shoes everywhere I went, because I was really proud of the fact that I was doing something businessy, and I thought it was really sweet. And I finally had some kind of responsibility, and I was showing Cutco, and I was loving it. Here's what I kind of learned during my fast start. Number one, time management. Like I said, I started actually keeping a schedule. 2, belief in myself. that was something that was really big. Was I was a part of a couple state championship teams in high school for a couple different sports, and I was never really a star player or anything. And it was cool winning. That was kind of just always there. So I never really had the belief that I myself could be a champion at something. So when I started selling a bunch of Cutco, that was the first time I ever really believed in myself, and that I could accomplish something. So that was really, really cool for me. I got a lot of self-confidence from it. It was really sweet when I posted that picture on Facebook, and it got like 40 likes from a bunch of adults from peers, small town, and a bunch of moms and dads said it was really cool. And that felt really good. It was people that I might have sold Cutco to, or just people that I've always looked up to. And then just goal setting and the fulfillment of accomplishment. I had never set goals in my life before. I never really needed to. I was the kind of student where I showed up and I just kind of got A's, and I didn't really have to work for anything. So when I finally had to work for something and set goals and then actually accomplish them, it felt unbelievable. So that was what I gained kind of my fast start, and that's why I stuck around after that. That was in January. Here's what school kind of looked like for me after my fast start. So I kept using a calendar. I got used to using a calendar. You can see I put my classes in there. That was spring semester. And on the bottom, I wrote added another plate. So I was keeping track of Cutco. I was adding in classes. This felt like a lot for me to keep track of my classes and stuff. I wasn't just showing up anymore. I was actually doing homework and studying. The first semester of college kind of kicked me in the butt because, like I said, I just showed up and used to get A's. It's not really how it worked freshman year. So second semester, I started working hard, and that totally came from my fast start, which was awesome. I got A's. I remember I talked to Dane about it a bunch. I was like, yeah, I'm going for a 4.0. And I was really proud of it because I'd never gotten like a 4.0. I'd never actually had to work for good grades before. So it was just something I could keep striving for. What did I learn from that? Being your own boss gives you so many options and gives you so much time. And it gave me the confidence to pursue some dreams that I had. I'd always me and my buddy, we sang in high school. Adam Kroll, who's actually on here, he led us in a church choir, but me and Colton is his name. We tried to start a band. It didn't work out, but I had the time, I had the money, and I had the confidence to just go and do it. And we tried to write some music and stuff like that. But the main thing was I had the time and I had the confidence to just put myself out there. And that was from showing Cutco, which is awesome. And I was able to start focusing on the task at hand a lot more. Like I said, I was getting good grades. That was a Snapchat I took. I don't know why I saved it to my memories, but I knew I saw it the other day on there, so I figured I'd put it on the slideshow. Like I said, I started actually getting good grades, which was sweet. Then my first summer as a rep, which was last summer, I started to spin some plates a little bit. And in that sense, I was doing a lot. This is during SC2. I love push periods. That's when I took a lot of pride in that. But what I kind of gained from that, my first summer as a rep, was hard work pays off. And it paid off, obviously, financially. When you sell a lot of Cutco, you make a lot of money, which is awesome. But also just hard work and the fulfillment of that rock in my hands, and just being like a top seller felt really good. Like I said at the beginning, I was never at the top of anything. So to just keep doing that, like it felt really good. I learned that you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. That is Jack Ryan, one of my best friends through Cutco. Dane, obviously, one of the best mentors or influences anyone can have. And truly surrounding yourself with people that are going after something more, something big. That was a big game changer for me. And a lot of my friends, they were doing whatever in the summer. And I was actually chasing goals and accomplishing things and putting myself in a position that I feel like could be unmatched after I get done with school. So I really took advantage of summer break and I took it as a chance to really separate myself. And at the same time, I was selling a lot of Cutco, but at the same time, my summer as a rep, I really took advantage of the flexibility and the opportunity to do things that I wanted. I could sell a lot of Cutco, but I had a lot of freedom. That's me at a summer concert fest. I traveled. I had experiences. That's with my cousin who lives in Atlanta, and I was able to spend a lot of time with my family, who really meant a lot to me. I sold a lot of Cutco last summer, but I lived a lot more than I've ever lived before, because I knew that I had this week in June. I wasn't going to sell any Cutco. I really planned it with my family. We went on a trip, and I just did a lot of things because I had the opportunity to. The summer before, I was working as an electrician 50 hours a week, busting my butt every day. I wasn't able to go on a trip to Atlanta, San Francisco, and a bunch of music fests. I just couldn't do that. So selling Cutco, I had the opportunity to kind of do whatever I wanted, as long as I was still working hard and selling knives, which I was doing. Then the fall came around. That's when Leadership Academy started. So this is my schedule in the fall. You'll notice I just keep adding things to my calendar. A lot of the things on there, you look, Tuesday night, hanging with the boys. Sunday, I was watching the Vikings. But just being able to plan my life and plan what was going on is something that has allowed me to grow, and keep growing alongside the plates that are spinning in my life, which I wrote on the bottom there. So I started getting up earlier. I started reading. You see on the right, that was TLA. That's Leadership Academy, where I'll kind of go through some things I gained from that. Leadership skills, obviously, it's in the name. But just being able to be a leader and take everything I learned from selling Cutco and start translating it into leading other people was unreal. The things that Dane and the other managers teach. Money management, I started reading books. I started pouring a lot of my effort and time into learning what I could do with all the money I was making. And that inspired me to keep making more money. Like, the more I learned after SC2, I took like a week off. However, I was still reading books about money management and investing. So I was like, all right, I got to sell some more Cutco if I'm going to do big things with investing and stuff like that. So I started selling a bunch more Cutco. I had a purpose with the money instead of just gaining it, and then saving it and blowing it. I had a purpose, and I had a goal. A goal without a path is just a dream. I heard that the other day, and I like to think that I lived by that. I learned how to invest a little bit. Dane talks about stuff like this at Leadership Academy. And then personal growth was a really big thing, where I started taking the next step in who I am as a person. Colleen always says personal growth is the hardest to see in the moment of any kind of growth. And I think that's more true than anything. So just being able to keep growing alongside other people who are growing at the same time as you and in like the same situation in life as you, but choosing a different path than the normal person. That's my favorite part of working with Vector. And that was my favorite part of starting in the Leadership Academy throughout the fall. Here's, I just want to throw this in there. Here's how I learned how to fuel my mind with things that were going to serve me. I used to listen to a lot of music. I still do. I love music. But I learned a couple things. So here's if you have any interest in learning about real estate or ever do, there's a podcast for you, Bigger Pockets, if you want to write it down. If you have any interest in getting into investments, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's like the most basic book. You've probably heard of it before. It's unbelievable. Read it. I have two more. If you want to really learn how to expand your plate a little bit, the 10X rule. I was actually given this at a Cutco conference, my first January, as a gift. Big time. Like, get it. And then the other thing's a podcast. So 2 books and 2 podcasts. If you're looking for inspiration, Changing Lives, Selling Knives. I'm not even kidding. If I have a friend that's having a bad day or I know they're going through something, I know which episodes are going to lift them up. And I'll send them a Changing Lives, Selling Knives podcast. And I'll be like, hey, it's not even about knives. Just give this a listen. There's some awesome, awesome people that have worked with us and worked with Cutco and worked with Vector. And there's some awesome stories and inspiration on that. So if you guys want to write those down, just one tip for each that can kind of help you guys fuel your mind a little bit the same way I did the last 6 months or so. And now Cutco as a manager. That's a pretty busy schedule. And it's a lot bigger. My plate is expanding. And that's something I love. I love that it's expanding. I love that I'm busy, especially during quarantine. But here's what I've kind of learned so far as a manager. Cutco is a big family. At the council, I love our team. I love everyone on it. I like to think we have a lot of fun. But Cutco in general, it's a big family, and it's a bunch of people that care about you, and it's a bunch of people that care about each other. And, you know, if I'm having a bad day, everyone has bad days. I know that literally it's one call away from someone in this business who can pick me up. And that's what I love the most. And I just love the, you know, the culture of Cutco and the culture of Vector, not only in like our office, but not only in the division, but just around like the region and the company. I love it. And that's something I've learned is there's a lot of people around you that are always there to pick you up. And I really don't think there's any other job that you can say the same thing. Like if you're working, maybe there is, I don't know. If you're working the night shift at McDonald's, maybe your night manager or whatever has a pick me up for you. But I love the ability to impact someone's life forever. Lucas, Devin, Jared, three of my three assistant managers, but also three of my really good friends before Cutco. And just seeing them, that's on a boat in Cabo. We caught a really big fish. I have a picture of it on here. We caught a couple of big fish. But those are three guys I would have never really thought would sell Cutco. I just kind of thought, you know, I was the only one that was going to do it from my hometown kind of area. I was able to give them the opportunity of being a part of this and selling Cutco and the Vector opportunity. And when Lucas Audi caught the marlin on the boat and literally had the biggest smile I think I've ever seen on someone's face, that was when it really clicked for me that this opportunity can really change the course of someone's life forever. And that's really special to me. And then the ability to just pass on invaluable lessons that I've learned. That's a Snapchat. If you're in there, shout out to the council. But I think that there's so many things like I've already talked about that I've learned from working here for a year and a half now. And just the ability to pass that on to someone else. And if you're brand new, like if you got out of training today or last week or last month, there's so many things that you don't know. And there's so many things I don't know. I think Dane said in training today, the reps know 5% of what he knows. I probably now know 10% of what Dane knows. Like there's so much stuff to learn within the business and just within life. And what better place to be surrounded by that. And then surrounding myself with growth. That's some of the council boys in January. And just constantly surrounding myself with people who are like-minded. That's kind of what I have on the Vector opportunity. Obviously we sell Cutco and Cutco it's the financial backing of everything we do as a company, and everything we do as a company is so much more than selling knives. It's really, it's just a byproduct of what we do with Vector. And Vector is, to me, the best company in the world. I'm proud to say that I'm Vector trained, and I've made a ton of memories so far with the company. These are some of my favorites. And I'm really excited for the future and the memories that I'm going to make. So that's what I've got for you guys. Vector opportunity, Vector trained.
Love it. All right, man. Thank you, Alex. Always awesome to hear from Alex, and also awesome for him to be able to share and everything too. We always appreciate it. We appreciate your leadership, man. We know you got big things coming this summer. It's gonna be pretty cool to see. Okay, guys. Next